What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jordan Stupar Show. My name is Jordan Stupar, and I am your host. This is the place for some business, for some sales, for some entrepreneurship, some stories, and pretty much just about anything that I want to talk about. And right now, we are in the middle of December. It is December 8th. And really, I wanted to jump on this podcast solo because things at the office have been so hectic and busy with the holidays, and I've just got news that I'm going to be a dad, and there's just a bunch of things going on. So what I wanted to address real quick is I want to take you all the way back to 2016. And the reason why I want to take you back to 2016 is to tell you a story so that you can make up your own mind about the work ethic that you want to actually, have for the rest of the year. Because I read a post recently by some other influencer or something saying that December is the Sunday of the year. It's kind of the time of the year where everybody slows down, everybody relaxes, we got friends, we got family, we got trips, we got drinks, we got food, we got presents, we got shopping, we got New Year's, we got Christmas Eve, we have all the things going on. And there's a few of us out here that actually still want to grind. We still want to make some money. And so I was on Facebook the other day, and you know how you got time hop, and a photo popped up of my old sales job of the screenshot I took of the TV that was in the boiler room that I worked in where we were making phone calls. And it said that I had made 229 phone calls and had, I think, 4 hours and maybe like 6 minutes of accumulated talk time. And that's cool and all. And I'm not here to tell you that you need to make 229 phone calls every single day or tell you that you got to have 4 hours of talk time every day. I can tell you right now that if you work on the phones, those numbers every single day, those will make you rich. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the fact that I didn't need to do those phone calls. I didn't need to do that talk time. I didn't even want to do that. You see, in 2016, I cleared about $452,000 worth of income. And at that time, December 7th of 2016, taking you back, I was also waiting on 2 commission checks from closing a Fortune 50 deal that was going to net me somewhere in the realm of another $250,000. So I have about $600,000 worth of total income from 2016 and the first month or two of 2017. And that's where I want to pick up this little kind of podcast here, is to let you guys know that I didn't need to make 229 phone calls. I didn't want to make 229 phone calls or have 4 hours of talk time. Quite frankly, I could have sat on my ass and literally done, the bare minimum just to make my manager happy, just to get by, go through my day. Because the money had been made, the deals were done, I was the top salesperson, and that was it. I did what I needed to do that year. And I was still there making calls for 2 reasons. One is I wanted to make sure that I had momentum going into January. When things are going that well and you're cashing $50, $60, $70, $80, $180,000 checks on a monthly basis, you don't want that to stop. You're not trying to go backwards. You start adjusting to this lifestyle of abundance and not having to check your bank account and go to the Porsche store and buy whatever you want. And, you don't want to slow that down. And so I wanted to make sure that I was going into January with a full head of steam, a full pipeline, and a bunch of new opportunities that I could work and count on working in January. And so that was point number 1. But point number 2 is, even if I couldn't get myself to make those dials and do that talk time just to line up a good month in January, the one thing I definitely wanted to accomplish is I wanted every single person in that office that I worked with to see that the person who had closed the Fortune 500 or Fortune 50 deal, the person that had made the most money, the person that had made the most sales, I wanted to strike fear in their hearts that they would never be able to compete with me ever again, including the next year. I wanted them to know that I was going into January with a ton of work ethic, a ton of discipline, a ton of activity. And ultimately, I think that might have paid off. I'm not entirely sure because I ended up quitting that job a few months into 2017, so I never really got to stick around to, crown myself king again of sales at the last organization that I worked at. But the whole point about this podcast is you can decide for yourself, who do you want to be right now? And, we're in a time of giving. We're in a time of buying presents and shopping and finding the right thing for our spouse and our kids and our family and our friends. And, those things cost money. And for some of you out there, you actually get to go shopping. Some of you have to go shopping, and there's a big difference. You can really tell how good of a year you had in sales by the mentality you have about Christmas shopping at the end of the year. Because if you didn't make a lot of money, if you're pretty broke, if things didn't work out, you didn't work that hard, you haven't stacked a lot of cash, and you have to go Christmas shopping, you're going to be a cheap ass. You're not going to buy some memorable, exciting, cool gifts for people. It's going to be a chore. More than likely, you're going to procrastinate and you're going to put it off until Christmas Eve. I know this because I've been that person. And I know that there's some of you out there that stacked checks. You were disciplined. You put in the work this year. You made some sales. You grew your business. You have more revenue than you ever had before. You get to go Christmas shopping. There's a big difference between the two because you've got money in the bank. You've been thoughtful. You've been excited now to go buy, some Louis Vuitton for the wife or, a vacation for New Year's that you get to take or whatever. You get to do it. And so depending on what type of year you've had, that's going to resonate with somebody. One of you guys out there is going to be like, damn, you're right. I do actually have to go Christmas shopping. I hate this because I didn't actually make a bunch of money and this is going to put a hole in my wallet and I'm going to have to go into debt over buying some stupid Christmas gifts I don't want to buy. And some of you out there are going to be balling out of control. You're going to be buying all the nice stuff. You're going to be enjoying that process of giving, and you're going to be taking care of friends, family, your community, your church, blah, blah, blah. And so that's another thing to mention is who you're going to be during this Christmas season. And the final point that I have in this podcast is the fact that sometimes if you do want to give, if you do want to become that person that can get all the baller gifts, all the good stuff, all the Louis Vuitton, red bottom shoes, Christmas trips, whatever, if you're going to be that person, then it may require you to actually sacrifice right now. And that's what I really want to talk about is some of you guys out there need to start sacrificing during times of giving. Maybe this isn't your year to give the great gifts. Maybe this isn't your year that you were top sales. Maybe this isn't the year that you did extremely well and were able to put yourself in a position to help other people. And so you may want to consider not giving. You may want to consider just sacrificing some time to spend more time in the office or at your job or doing the things that help you accumulate money. Some of you guys might need to sacrifice some of the friends or family that you guys have during this time of the year that end up getting you distracted or derails you from the momentum and the success that you've actually had. I heard on a podcast from Andy Frisella, I heard him say something about momentum is that winners know how to not lose momentum. And that's a huge thing, and that's why I'm in the office here at 7 o'clock in the morning is because I had this on my mind and I don't have any other time during the day to run a podcast. So I got to come in early and do this thing. So the whole point about everything here is I'm going to keep this short and tidy. 1, decide who you want to be during this time of the year. Okay. Everybody else is letting off the gas pedal. This is the place where you can create a little bit of distance from your competitors. 2, this can be the place where you strike fear in the eyes of the coworkers, the teammates, or even the competitors that you have by showing up and doing the work when you don't really have to and you don't really need to. And then 3rd, you can really, really figure out what type of year you had, depending on if you get to go Christmas shopping or if you have to. And so, again, I told you I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not the work harder, make more phone calls guy, but I can tell you that working harder, I can tell you that making more phone calls, I can tell you that keeping up the momentum and staying dialed in cannot and will not hurt you. And with that, I'm signing off. This is the Jordan Stupar Show. If you enjoyed this, make sure to share, make a comment, like this, I don't know, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But if we do well, you find some value in this, please give us a little love, and we'll see you next time.